had started chapter 14. It is called the story of King Vena. Now, Vena is the son who is not worthy of being a king according to all the people over there. His mother, Sunita, is very loving towards him yet. And the father, that is Anga, he leaves this kingdom without an heir. So he doesn't say that my son should be appointed. But Bhrigu Maharaj appoints him because headless kingdom should not be there. Somebody has to head it. So he is given the position of a leader and he becomes a king of that land. But he goes against everything over there. And because he is such a cruel person, people are afraid to approach him. Even the crime rate drops over there. Now, if you have a terrible person as a king whose main aim is to kill and destroy, then even everybody, including the thieves and the robbers and those who are going to be doing wrong, are afraid of him. So in a similar fashion, King Vena's rule was full of fear. Yesterday we learnt about the sages are telling him to become a good person because his atrocities had reached the limit. So they request him to be a good person, pray to God and so on and so forth. Now let us see what he says today. So we will continue from verse 23 onwards today. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Part 1, Chapter 14, the story of King Vena, verse 23 onwards. King Vena replied, "You are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you are maintaining something which is not religious and are accepting it as religious. Indeed, I think you are giving up your real husband who maintains you and are searching for some paramour to worship. Those who out of gross ignorance do not worship the king, who is actually the supreme person, experiences happiness neither in this world nor in the world after death." Now here he is directly challenging these sages, saints and all the good people in the land who had told him that there is a Lord, there is a God Almighty over there, you are supposed to pray to him, you are supposed to be nice to him and all that. All act, whatever sacrifices, whatever prayers have to be offered to this Lord. But the king, King Vena, is giving them an answer which is totally contrary. He says, "You don't understand. I am the king over here. The entire gods are within me. And you should be actually praying to me instead of praying to any other person. Because I can grant you life. I can grant you freedom. I can grant you houses, money, power, whatever that you want. I am the one who is granting you. What makes you think that there is some God up there in space who is giving you all these things? Because nobody has seen this God, isn't it? So naturally, the supreme divine so-called consciousness is none other than me alone. So this is the way in which he puts it across. And then he says, whatever you are saying is pure gross ignorance. Can you understand who this person is? This person is a pure communist. He is an atheist, communist, who believes that the state and the ruler of the state is the supreme boss. There is no God anywhere. Nobody is ruling this world except me. Got the point? So he is very clear about it. He says, I am the boss. You have to only pray to me. How many times have we heard about this kind of a thing happening in this world? Whether it's the Sumerian kings, whether it is the Egyptian kings, whether it is the Indian kings, the past kingdoms in India also, or any other anywhere in the world. These leaders of governments and leaders of nation or kings and queens consider themselves as greater than any god in this world. And their ego is what makes them think like that. They believe they can take control of anything. Even in the Bible, there are stories, and our scriptures are filled with these kind of stories. So there is always this individual somewhere in the world who believes he is greater than any god in this planet Earth. When you listen to these kind of people, especially the scientists who are atheists, they think that they know everything. In the grand scale of things, they are not even a speck of dust. A speck of dust. And yet they think of themselves as some great sheikhs. Now, this story is going to take a very beautiful turn. So we need to listen to it very carefully, because without understanding the spiritual significance of it, we cannot proceed further. So King Vena is saying this: you are so much devoted to these demigods, but who are they? Indeed, your affection for these demigods is exactly like an affection to an unchaste woman who neglects the married life and gives all the attention to the paramour. So King Vena is directly pointing out to all these demigods. Who are these demigods? Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. These are the demigods. Their wives. Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati. All the other demigods that are there, from whichever kingdom that are there. So the king Vena is talking about all these demigods. See what he says. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Vayu, the master of air, Yama, superintendent of death, the sun god, the director of rainfall, Kuvera, treasurer, the moon god, predominantly deities of the earth, Agni, the fire god, Varun, the lord of waters, and all others who are great and competent to bestow benediction or to curse, all abide in the body of the king. For this reason, the king is known as the reservoir of all demigods, or simply part and parcel of the king's body. He is very clear about it. King Vena says, all the gods are within my body, from top to bottom. Now you may say, how can he talk like this? See, we are human beings. All of us here are human beings. We don't have a power like King Vena. We don't have any kind of a control over anything in this world. We are always dependent on these demigods, thinking that there is a demigod over there, but Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all these Agni, Indra, and everybody, and we have to pray to them so that they will give us something. So we are beggars in the land of all these gods. So when I want something to happen to me, I am going to stand in front of a God and pray to him and beg from him. God, give me this. God, give me that. God, give me child. All these things are being asked. But this king is very strange. King Vena has a knowledge deeper than you. He has grasped spiritual significance of it. But knowing something and using it to your advantage so that you can curb something or you can destroy something is not a job of a good person. Let us say you know how to create an incendiary device. If you are going to use it for negative purposes, you are a terrorist. Do you understand this? But the same device, when it is used for blasting wells or the rocks so that you can do, mining. I'm sure you have seen mining, how it is done. The coal mines and all these other mines, the minings is done in such a manner. Do you remember the great prize which Donald Trump wants? It's called the Nobel Prize. You have heard of this Nobel Prize or no? Who is Nobel? Nobel, Alfred Nobel is the name of this person. And he was responsible for creating these very dangerous chemicals which are used for blasting. He earned so much of money that he created this Nobel Prize and gave money and citations to people because he wanted to repent for the sins that he has caused. The same devices were used in wars to destroy the enemy. So do you understand this whole thing? There is good and there is bad. How do you want to use that quality? So this king is very, very knowledgeable actually. He understands the basis of everything. We will learn this surprising thing in the next chapter tomorrow. Because if we do not understand this important part being said just now, we are not going to understand what is going to come ahead of us. So don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. Okay? Alfred Nobel might have created the gelatin sticks and all those kind of things. It does not really matter. We can use them for good purposes. So the body is going to be meant for the purpose of good as well as bad in this world. You know how it is, no? You can use your brain for doing something good or doing something bad. The same knowledge is enough. So when you do this kind of a thing, you are either gaining karma or trying to eliminate karma. One of the two. Something like that happens. Right now, let us not go into it, but let us see how he says. He says all these gods that we are talking about, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Agni Dev, Indra Dev, Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, every god and goddess is within my body and I am running them. I am the reservoir of all the demigods. All the demigods are living within my body. The first king of Egypt, King Ra, also said the same thing. He was very clear. I am from the solar dynasty and I know what I am supposed to do. Even in our world, we have Sri Ram and Sri Krishna. They knew who they were. A common man has no idea about this. He thinks he is a puny human being who cannot do anything in this world. But King Vena has some amount of an idea. Now understand one thing, if somebody has an idea, the world doesn't want them to survive. They think that this person is talking nonsense. Now imagine tomorrow if we go out in the world and say, I am the God, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God, I am God. Anal Haq, Anal Haq, Anal Haq. Some king is going to come and chop my head off. I can't go out in the street saying I am greater than Donald Trump or Narendra Modi. Can I say that? I can't. I will not be alive in this world. Why? Because nobody wants to know the truth. We all live in this world of falsehood. The King Vena is very clear. He says, I am the Lord of everything. You have to pray to me. King Vena continued, for this reason, O Brahmanas, you should abandon your envy of me. And by your ritualistic activity, you should worship me and offer me all the paraphernalia. If you are intelligent, you should know that there is no personality superior to me who can accept the first oblation of all the sacrifices. So I am your king. I don't want you to go and do some yagyas and this and that and go to any temple and whatsoever. You pray to me only. I am the Lord and the master of this universe. I'm Superman, super God. Same thing happened in Yahweh. You know, his mother was very upset. Her name was Sophia. He declared himself as higher than any god on this in this universe. And he said, I am the Lord of the aeons and the archons. I know these kind of things you may not want to hear because hardly anybody knows what I'm talking about. Most of the people have never heard of this. This is a bird which nobody hears of. You know, you have heard about, Sitafal. Sitafal is custard apple. You have heard of custard apple, right? Some of you have heard of Ramfal. Have you heard of Ramfal? Yes, looks like custard apple only. Those who come to my place, when they enter only on the right hand side, there's a tree which is called the Ramfal tree. Okay? It looks like custard apple, but it is all squished inside. There is another fruit which is available in the marketplace. Okay? Which looks exactly like this only. Now, I am telling you, how many of you have seen it, I don't know. It's called sarsap. Okay? In India, sarsap is called Lakshman Fal. Like you have the Sita Fal, Ram Fal, Lakshman Fal. People hardly know Lakshman Fal. They can't make out the difference between any of these fals. So for you, whatever I'm talking may be, like bouncers on top of your head. But anyway, you can listen. Someday you will come across hours up and you will say, oh, now I know. So now, let us come to the point. Here he is telling the whole world, see, I am the Lord and the Master. Don't go pray to all these gods and all that. They are of no use. You pray to me. You show me your arti to me. Okay, you please do this. Okay. And when you do that, what happens? I am going to be very happy. I'll bless you. Yeah. Sounds more like Guruji, no? Egoistic fellow. So, yeah, it is all like that. So, he is very clear. He says, see, I am the boss. So, if you are intelligent, only if you are an intelligent person, that you will know that I am the most superior amongst all these people and you are supposed to pray to me. So when I am offered something by you and I accept it, I am pleased and I can grant you anything. Now if this kind of a sentence is made in front of others, what happens to a person? The great sage Maitreya continued, thus the king who became unintelligent due to the sinful life and deviation from the right path became actually bereft of all good fortune. He could not accept the request of the great sages, which the sages put before him in great respect, and therefore he was condemned. My dear Vidura, all good fortune unto you. The foolish king, who thought himself very learned, thus insulted the great sages, and the sages, being broken hearted by the king's word, became very angry at him. The sages always believed in the Lord, and the Lord is different than this person who is talking about it. So naturally, the sages are getting very upset with what is happening. How can you talk like this? You are not God. You are not nobody over here. So why are you talking like this? I mean, they are naturally, from their perspective, it's a good thing, no? It's like today when people stand in front of, when one religious person of one religion stands in front of another, place, they are going to talk bad about that place, isn't it? Are they not? Everybody forgets that everybody in this world is made, made by the same God only. This is what is forgotten. No, he prays to that God. That God is not God, he's just stone. Really, he is an idol worshipper. He's a pagan. He's this, he's that. We love to say these words. And that is how we get disillusioned in our life. So it's a very strange phenomenon which is there in this world. So even the sages, they are upset. See, we have a God. And this fellow is saying, I am the God. You pray to me. And they don't like it. So what do? All the great saintly sages immediately cried, kill him, kill him. He's a most dreadful and sinful person. If he lives, he will certainly turn the whole world into ashes in no time. So they are very much interested in killing him. I am going to ask you a question. Why would a sage want to kill a person? I hope you understand. They should be very, very kind and considerate and loving. Right? Don't you expect the sages to become a little bit nicer in life? No, these sages are interested in kill him, destroy him. Now I hope you understand. These books are not so easy and simple to understand because there is a twist in every word that is there. Every line is twisted, right? That is why it is called spirituality. So spirituality is a very difficult subject for us to understand. It's all the perspective. If I say the King Vena is a good guy, you may be a sage and you will say, okay, you are also from his side. Okay, I should kill you. That is what you will also do. But if I say he's a bad guy, then he will say, oh, this fellow is supporting me. So he's from my side. There's nothing like that. If I give you a secret, will you like to hear? This bad guy is the father of Narayana. So think about it. From his body, Narayana comes out. Now you only think about it. Is it good or is it bad? So it's a comedy show full. Right? And these sages, they don't understand. They look at them, oh, this fellow is a bad fellow. We should kill him, kill him, kill him. So the poor fellow is killed by these guys. Okay. So the saintly sages continued. Thus impious, impudent man does not deserve to sit on the throne at all. He is also shameless that he even dared insult the supreme God, Lord Vishnu. But for King Vena, who is simply inauspicious, who would blaspheme the Supreme Lord, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulences? The great sages, thus manifesting their covert anger, immediately decided to kill King Vena. King Vena was already as good as dead due to the blasphemy against the Supreme Lord. Thus, without using any weapon, the sage killed King Vena simply by high sounding words. So the poor fellow is killed by these sages. What? They must have used ultrasonic sound, maybe, very high end sound. 10,000 watts, and destroyed this fellow. It is not a good thing. It's not even a bad thing. I can tell you this much. So King Vena is very pompous fellow. He says, I am the God. You should pray to me. The sages are very angry with him. They say, who are you to say these words? God is God. You are you. You are nobody. You are not a God at all. So we have to kill you. And this poor fellow is killed. Remember, he is a villain in the first place, okay? And being a villain in the first place, now chaos is going to come, isn't it? Don't you think chaos will come? This is a problem in our world. You see, look at all these kingdoms that were there. There was a person, okay, there was a person called Muhammad Gaddafi. Okay, so he was ruling a kingdom called Libya, one of the most prosperous countries in the world. Libya was one of the most prosperous countries in the world. Everybody was rich. Every person was rich. This is the person who started the non-aligned movement, NAM, N-A-M, in this world. And the people came and they killed him. Libya is in ruins today. The women are begging on the streets. The country has no money. All because of an ego of one person. Why does somebody want to destroy a kingdom? Education was free for women as well during this time. There was so much money. They were rich in oil. They were doing so well. And today the country is in ruins. This is something which we should not bother getting into. There are lots of people in this world who are ready to destroy another good kingdom. And when the king dies over there, these people, they are like, villains. They are waiting for the opportunity to come and destroy. Same thing, look at the countries in the Middle East today. They're all in ruins. All in ruins. Now, what is to be done? Here also, King Vena is killed by these sages. Now, they think that they have done something nice in this world. Who can say what is right and what is wrong? So, these sages, they come up with their anger and they kill this poor fellow. After all the sages returned to their respective hermitages, the mother of King Vena, Sunita, became very much aggrieved because of her son's death. She decided to preserve the dead body of her son for the application of certain ingredients and by chanting mantras. Reminds you of something, isn't it? The Egyptian mummies, does it remind you of that? So the mother is very upset. Sunita is very upset. She says, why do these sages kill my son? I want to preserve his body. And she uses preservatives and preserves the body of this King Vena. This body is the source of a lot of good and bad in this world. We're going to learn this. Entire kingdoms got created. Now you may say, what is a dead guy useful for? You will say these words, isn't it? Well, if you understand the DNA of a dead guy also can be used for creating an entirely new species. Isn't it correct? Today, are we not doing cloning and all these kind of things? So I want you to think on a little bit of scientific theories in this. Here is a dead body, a fresh dead body lying in front of us of King Vena, preserved by the mother. You will find that today in this world there are lots of people, I think more women in this world are harvesting their eggs and keeping it. They don't want to get married today. But if they get a tall, dark, handsome, and a very tall fellow like the Chinese, superstar, something called Jade something. Everybody is watching that serial, Chinese serial, which is Netflix has bought. If you have a 6'3" tall, handsome guy, every woman on this planet wants to have a child from him. Oh, he's so cute, so nice, so handsome. And that is what is happening, isn't it? So if you see the world today, it is exactly at a similar point. That time also it was there. So they preserve his body. Now, King Vena's body is preserved. Then what happens after that? Once upon a time, the same saintly persons, after taking bath in the river Saraswati, began to perform their daily duties of oblations into the sacrificial fires. After this, sitting on the bank of river, they began to talk about the transcendental person and his pastimes. In those days, there were various disturbances in the country that were creating a panic in the society. Therefore, all the sages began to talk among themselves. Since the king is dead, there is no protector in the world. Misfortune may befall the people in general on account of the rogues and the thieves. So when it's like a headless chicken, what can you do? The king is there, he's dead fellow. All these robbers and all these people, what are they going to do? They are going to rob the kingdom. If there is no fear in land anywhere, all things go for a toss. Everything goes bad. Just imagine a country doesn't have a country head for quite some time. Have you seen the condition of Bangladesh? There was no head of state. They put that Muhammad fellow over there as a caretaker government. The whole country went to ruins. Today, now they have elected someone. So there is certain amount of direction which they will take. So if a country is run just like on proxy by anybody that they feel like, then the country goes to ruins. So the sages who were performing these kind of yagyas, when they went back to their hermitages, naturally they had to face all these thieves and all these, bad elements. And the whole kingdom was having a misfortune because people were getting robbed in the middle of the street. So if something like this happens, what is going to be the condition? See, today, in the last 2 days, in India also, the Prime Minister of this country has said some things very, very important. He has said, number one, please don't go out for holidays anywhere. Because if you go out, we are going to lose a lot of money. Then he says, do not use your cars and your vehicles. Try to do carpooling or go by public transport. Save oil and fuel. Don't buy expensive stuff. Can you go on for 1 year without buying expensive stuff? Then he said, please avoid buying gold. See, women in India want to buy gold for whatever reason they feel like. This is causing a lot of pain to our economy. So he has said, please, can you stay away from buying gold? Only essential you buy. Okay. So these are certain things which the Prime Minister has said. For the working people, he has said, can you stay and work from home? Don't go to work. Work from home. If you are going out, use public transport or do carpooling. So there is some kind of controls which have been put in motion. Don't do this. He's just requesting. But now if this country was without head or a tyrant ruling this country, you know what is going to happen to the country, isn't it? The price of petrol in Pakistan is 480 rupees a liter. In India, it is 100 rupees a liter. Can you see the difference between the two? In India, you get, you know, sugar, or for that matter, even a bread. A bread and a sugar, loaf of bread, you get it for 40 cents. 40 cents. 1 kilo of sugar, you can get it for 40 cents. Which country gives you this? Huh? No country in this world can give you. Try buying a loaf of bread or even a dozen eggs. Recently, the egg production in India had increased so much because there was no export to the Gulf. 30 eggs, 30 eggs were available for 100 rupees. 100 rupees is just $1.10. $1.10, you get 30 eggs. Which country can give you this? We have good rulers. Everything is good. The price of car in India, one small car, if I buy, let us say if I have to buy a Swift, a Maruti Swift, which is a Suzuki Swift. A Suzuki Swift in India will come from anywhere between 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs. Okay? 8 lakhs or less than that actually. So an 8 lakhs car is approximately $9,000 with an AC and everything, a good car. The same car in Singapore is 75 lakhs. Same car is 75 lakhs. How does a country like that charge you 75 lakhs and in India the same car is at 1/10 of that price? I hope you understand the economy in India is so good. But if there is no head of the government tomorrow, we are all going to go to ruins. Here it is the same thing. So, when the sages were carrying out their discussion in the way, they saw a dust storm rising in all directions. The storm was caused by the running of the thieves and rogues who were engaged in plundering the citizens. Upon seeing the dust storm, the saintly person could understand that there was a great deal of irregularities due to the death of King Vena. Without government, the state was devoid of law and order, and consequently there was a great uprising of murderous thieves and rogues who were plundering the riches of the people in general. Although the great sages could subdue the disturbances by their power, just as they could kill the King Vena, they considered it improper on their part to do so. Thus, they did not attempt to stop the disturbance. These same sages were responsible for destroying Vena. Now, all these thieves and robbers and everybody is looting the kingdom. They can use the same power to stop these thieves, but these fellows are not interested. They kill the king so that the whole state becomes anarchy. See, even if the king is bad, person should not interfere in that. Like today, people are thinking, oh, this fellow is not good, that fellow is not good. Let us replace this fellow, let us replace that fellow. That is the ego of these great fellows, rising. Who are you to say those words? I hope you get that. People are trying to replace governments and the leaders of the governments using covert network. Tomorrow, these people are going to go to hell. This is true. Please understand. Now, this is what has happened in this kingdom. So now they are ruining this whole thing because everybody is suffering very badly. The great sages began to think that although a Brahmana is peaceful and impartial because he is equal to everyone, it is still not his duty to neglect poor humans. By such neglect, a Brahmana's spiritual power diminishes, just as water kept in the cracked pot leaks out. See, understand one thing. We think that Kshatriyas are supposed to fight. But here, the verdict is very clear. If something wrong is happening in this world, and especially because you are responsible for the wrong, isn't it your duty to rectify the situation? So, do you think sorry will help? Oh, I'm very sorry because I killed the king. Do you think that is going to help? So, the sages, they should have done something drastic, isn't it? So, now these guys are going to wake up and then they are going to do something. Let us see. The sages decided that the descendants of the family of King Anga should not be stopped. For in the family, the semen was very powerful, and the king children were prone to become devotees of the Lord. So King Anga was there, his son was Vena, the lineage is there. This is called hereditary thing. What is hereditary? Let us say your forefathers, somebody somewhere forefather, that person is an autistic person. The next generation may not have autism, but maybe the next or the next after that, somebody will be autistic. This is how it works. So genetics comes from one person to another person. Maybe it will give a gap in one generation, but some other generation down the line will have that problem in them. Diabetes, all kinds of diseases, all kinds of, nature of a person. The nature of a person is also going to reflect, which we will see when they create another person. So these guys, these sages, they say, oh, we have to continue with the lineage. So the semen from the father has to be used now. So now you understand. That time also there were sperm bank and egg banks. Would you agree with me? So they also are using the same techniques. Today when people say, oh, I want to harvest this and keep it in nitrogen cooled, you are not doing anything wrong. Even these people were doing the same thing at that time. So they have to use this hereditary thing. After making a decision, the saintly persons and the sage churned the thighs of the dead body of the King Vena with great force, and according to a specific method. As a result of this churning, a dwarf-like person was born from King Vena's body. So they took out the DNA material from his sperm somewhere. Okay? And from that they created another person. Now this person is a very strange person. Remember, he has come from a ritual which is not so good. It is artificially created. And it has been created from the lower part of the body. Those who are understanding that the top half is the gods, the earthlings in the middle, and the lower part of the body consists of all the demons and the devils. Okay. So from his lower part of the body, the thighs part, groin part, if I have to be very specific in it, they created another creature out of his body. This creature was very ugly looking. In Phantom Comics, those who have seen Phantom Comics, have you seen? There are those fellows who have got lips like this and very shorty fellows. Pygmies and all those. Bantu, Tantu and all those small guys in this world. So this fellow is exactly like that. The person born from King Vena's thighs was called Bahuka. His name was Bahuka. And his complexion was black as crows. He was darker than me, don't worry. Crow, black color, full. So Bahuka was very, very dark fellow. All the limbs of the body were very short. He was a shorty fellow. Short hands, short legs, and his jaws were large. His nose was flat. His eyes were reddish and his hair was copper colored. So brown hair. He was very submissive and meek. And immediately after his birth, he bowed down and inquired, "Sirs, what shall I do now?" The great sages replied, "Please sit down." Thus, Nishada, the father of the Naishada race, was born. So, Bahuka is the founder of this new race. The race is called Naishadas. These are short guys, short fellows with short hands and short legs and short everything. So, they were born, and he was the father of these Naishadas. So, they created this creature so that the generations will continue. So Anga, Vena, and Bahuka. Bahuka is the son now. So I hope you understand. The sins of the father is anyway going to go down to the grandchildren. Somewhere down the line, the things are going to go. Today, you may not see that change in, let us say, our own generation or the next. The next generation after that is going to be there, 100%. Because genes don't lie. So, after his birth, that is Naishada's birth, he immediately took charge of the resultant action of King Vena's sinful activities. So, he was responsible for doing all the sinful activities which King Vena was doing. As such, these Naishada class are engaged in sinful activities like stealing, plundering, and hunting. Consequently, they are only allowed to live in the hills and the forests. So, these are forest dwellers. They stay in the forest and they catch hold of somebody on the road, and then they will point their spears at that person and say, "Give me your money, otherwise," you know. So these guys are responsible for all these races in the world. So there are these kind of races in the world who are used to plundering and gathering all this. Okay. Have you heard of these people in the African nation where they are the pirates in the sea? Have you heard of them or no? The whole country is like that only. The women are staying at home, the men are all going out and becoming pirates. What can you do? So every nation, every country, every continent has something very unique in them. So this fellow, okay, King Vena's body DNA came out, and from that one race was born called Bahuka's race, which is Naishada. Bahuka is the first person, progenitor, he is the one. Then there are some others which have also come, which are also similarly like this, but they are slightly tall. They are still villains. They are called Kiratas. So now this is the part one of the story which we have ended, where we have understood that the same body which the king said, "All the gods are staying within me," what he was trying to say is all the kingdoms are within me. The heavens and the hells and the earthly. So from the hell only this guy was created. So do you understand the purport of this lesson? That everything in this world is like that. We don't want to accept it. You think you are some great sheikhs in this world. No, I am a very good person. Nobody is good. Everybody has good and everybody has bad in them. Our job is to only become good in this world. So now we have learnt about the bad. tomorrow's satsang, we will learn about how a god is born. Vishnu and Lakshmi are going to be born from the same body. So, King Vena's body is responsible for a lot of good stuff also. Don't worry about it. So, we have come to the end of chapter 14 and we will stop over here for today. Recording stopped.